Welcome to this overview of the new Online Hiring Center. We're excited to release a brand new version of the Online Hiring Center, also known as the OHC. This demo will show you the highlights of the new version. For more detailed information, please refer to the accompanying orientation guide. With the redesigned version, OHC users benefit from a new intuitive interface that features a central dashboard of current tasks, as well as other great features such as approval workflows for requisitions and hires and customized hiring workflows. Let me give you a quick tour of the highlights. The My Tasks area at the top of the dashboard allows users to see at a glance which items are awaiting their action, such as applications to review as an SME, applications you are rating as part of an interview process, and approval tasks for requisitions and hire actions. Once a task is completed, it is removed from the dashboard. All tasks are available for view by clicking on the View All link at the top. Below the Task section is the My Requisition section. This shows all current requisitions that you have created or where you are assigned as the hiring manager. Once a requisition status is changed to filled, canceled, or on hold, it is no longer displayed on the dashboard, but can be accessed by clicking on the View All link. In both of these sections, note that the status of the tasks or requisitions are color-coded and correspond to the quick counts at the top, which also serve as filtering tools to quickly filter by task type or requisition status. Next, let's take a look at the approval workflow. Under the Setup menu, we have Approval Workflow, and this is where you're able to set up approval routings for your departments and divisions for both your requisitions and your hire actions. Looking at an existing workflow, we'll click on Edit for one so you can see what it looks like. And you'll see that you give the workflow template a name. You specify whether or not it's going to apply to requisitions and or hire actions, and then you select which department and division combinations that workflow template will apply to. After that, you select the different approval levels that will be used for that routing approval for requisitions and hires. Next, let's take a look at how we've improved the notice template process. Under Setup, when you go to Notice Templates, you'll see that you can create notice templates here within the Online Hiring Center. And editing one of these notices, you'll see that you have the ability to give it a name, associate with the reject reason, which departments are applicable to that notice template. Once you get into composing the notice, you'll have a rich text editor toolbar with functions like bold, italics, underline, and so on for formatting the text within your notice template. To find fields that you want to include as a merge field, you simply type in part of the name of that text and it will open up a list for you of any fields, merge fields that match that particular information that you've entered. Simply drag and drop the fields into the notice template where you want to place them to include them within your notice. Next, let's take a look at rating applications as an SME. Going back to the dashboard, we can see in the Tasks area the applications that have been assigned to us for SME review. Clicking on anything in that row is going to open up the requisition for us to view the applications that we need to review as an SME. Notice that the system automatically defaults to the view of applications that haven't been reviewed yet. Clicking on the first candidate, I can view this candidate's application, see the questions that have been submitted for this application, and click on the Rate link when I'm ready to rate the candidate's information. I can enter a score for this candidate, enter any comments as applicable, and then submit my ratings. If I want to rate applications that have been assigned to me for interviewing, if I go back to my dashboard and look at the link of my tasks of candidates that have been assigned to me for interviews, similarly I can click on that link, see the candidates that have been assigned to me. I can view my candidates by clicking on the candidate's information to view their application. When I'm ready to rate it, I click on the Rate link, select my rating, which also includes a star option if you want to do that as opposed to using pass-fail or scores. So you can enter a star rating and put in your comments. And submit your rating. Let's take a look at what applications look like when they've been referred to you as a hiring manager. Going back to the dashboard, if we look in the My Requisition section, next to any open requisitions, you'll see the number of candidates that have been referred in parentheses. This requisition has had 16 candidates referred. Clicking on the 16 directly opens up the requisition and shows us the list of candidates that have been referred. First, we see a graph telling us the number of candidates at each stage of the selection process. Below that, we see a list of all of the candidates with their statuses provided as well. If I want to see just the candidates in the interview step, I can click on that part of the graph and it will automatically filter my list of candidates to just those that are in the interview stage. I can schedule candidates for interview by clicking on the unscheduled link, enter the times and locations that I want to use for this candidate for scheduling. And this is where the candidate ratings are going to show up as well. The hiring workflow can be modified as well. Clicking on the Hire Workflow link, you see all of the stages of the selection process. The system automatically includes a referred, interview, offered, and hired step, as well as a separate section to have the rejected candidates. With the new OHC, you have the ability to customize this workflow to add additional steps. In this case, I've added a step for a second interview. In phase 1 of this implementation, only interview step types can be added. In a later phase, we'll include options for other step types such as written exams, training and experience steps, etc. The new OHC also provides the ability to view candidate history. So if I'm looking at a particular candidate and I want to see information about their history, I can click on the candidate's name. You see their applications, their answers to questions, notices that have been sent, as well as their history, which gives a timeline of everything that's happened with that candidate in the selection process. So that's a high-level overview of the new Online Hiring Center. We hope you try it out and like it. We also would like to encourage you to click on the Send Feedback link to give us feedback about what your thoughts are about the new Online Hiring Center and what suggestions you have for improvement. Based on the feedback that we receive, we'll be evaluating it and making decisions around which changes will be made in the final version and the timeline for when that will roll out to the production site. Thanks for joining us today and have a great day.